Thanks for logging on to NASCAR.com, everybody, for the preview show delivered by FedEx Racing. Beau, Estes hopping in for Mark Fine, joined as ever by the guy who's always in this seat. It's Mike Bell. And Mike, looking back at Sonoma, a big win for Kasey Kahne. This is a guy who's never won on a road course.
You know, on the radio, he said, hey, man, I'm just a dirt tracker from Washington State. I'm not supposed to be good at this kind of stuff. But obviously they had the setup, good pit strategy, and a great win for, remember, Richard Petty Motorsports. This was the Gillette-Everingham-Petty merger. And who knows, maybe these guys can use this as a springboard for success as Kasey finally gets close now to being in the chase.
Yeah, you mentioned he's close to the chase. We're 10 races to go till the chase. It's the race to the chase, and Kasey Kahne 3 points out of that coveted 12th spot. Can he make this work for him going to Loudon, where guys like Jeff Burton, who've dropped out of that top 12, need to jump forward? He's done well at Loudon.
I think Kasey Kahne certainly can be a player, especially when you get back to some of those mile-and-a-half tracks later in the year. But as you mentioned, the points, Jeff Burton now out. Matter of fact, all of the Richard Childress Racing cars out of the top 12. Clint Boyer's been lost, and Jeff Burton hopefully goes to New Hampshire saying, hey, I've won here, I've run well here, maybe I can use this to get back in the points.
Yeah, RCR spinning its tires right now. Tough situation for those guys. We go to the Magic Mile. Just give us a little breakdown. Ventilate your mind, if you will, on Loudon.
Well, it's the big old paper clip, and they've tweaked it a few times. They made it a little bit bigger, a little bit safer. Still, it's a flat track, and I think guys who did well at Pocono, combination of Pocono and Martinsville, because if you do well on those flat tracks, you're going to do well here. That means guys like Carl Edwards, certainly the Roush Fenway cars, but Richard Childress Racing, RCR's had this thing dialed in. Ryan Newman, by the way, 4 poles. He's won before at New Hampshire, too, so I think maybe Tony Stewart and those guys can make some noise up at Loudon.
Kurt Busch, the defending champion at this race, and Mike, our favorite word, the F word. No, not that F word. It's fuel mileage. That could play a part this weekend.
Yeah, remember that race that was rain shortened last year where we had like J.J. Yaley and Michael Waltrip in the top 10? Hopefully we'll have sunny skies up in New Hampshire this weekend, but fuel is always a consideration here. Kurt Busch got the win last year because of the fuel situation.
A lot of drivers do pretty well at this course. To be expected. Jimmy Johnson does well. We mentioned Kurt Busch. How about Denny Hamlin up there, too?
Again, flat track specialist. Remember, he dominated at Pocono a couple of years back. Kyle Busch, terrible race for him at Sonoma. So what about these Toyotas from Joe Gibbs Racing? I think Denny Hamlin probably the best chance to click at New Hampshire.
Okay, so you mentioned the Toyotas. It's time to make our picks. You said Denny Hamlin the best chance. I'm going to go with Kyle Busch this week. Why am I going with Kyle Busch? Why? I'm going to answer that for you. That's why I'm here. Less than 50 points from being out of that chase. He's got 3 wins on the year. His back is sort of against the wall now. He needs to get a win. I think he rises up and gets it done.
I like your strategy, Grasshopper,
but
I'm going to go with the Rocket Man, Ryan Newman. You know, this Stewart Haas Racing team is just so dialed in right now. Ryan Newman knows how to qualify well, run up front. I'm going with the Rocket Man to click in New Hampshire.
So Mike's got the Rocket Man. I'm going with Kyle Busch. Thanks for logging on, everybody, to NASCAR.com for the preview show delivered by FedEx Racing.